Hey, what's up everyone? Danny Lightning here with special guest P.G.O. How's everyone doing?
Well, I think I'm your regular guest, but...
Well, you will be, but a lot of people don't know that yet, I don't think. So what's
Hi,
up?
guys.
Uh-oh. I just hit the wrong button. There we go. It says YouTube, it says error. YouTube is not retrieving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Wonderful, wonderful. Hopefully we're not going to have problems like we had last week.
Yeah, well, that seems generally unlikely, but I mean, it looks good from where I'm standing, but we shall see. So you said you had a topic, but you didn't tell me what it was. So now you have me.
It's a surprise.
You have me excited, I guess. I don't know.
It's a giant surprise. So the newest Titan weapons came out, the Squalls, and I've got a chance to use these things on the live server. And I will tell you guys...
I actually got to try them today as well.
Awesome. I was hoping you did, because these things are brutal. The ones I received are level 10, and these things go up to level 25, but they're brutal even at level 10. What did you think of them, P.G.O?
Okay, I got mine at level 10 as well. And I find them, pretty much what I expect them to be at level 10. They were not impressing me. But
really?
Yeah. I mean, look, I really, really, really like my level 25 retaliators. Like, I like them a lot. Okay, now I'm getting buffering on the stream.
Uh-oh. I'm not seeing any buffering yet.
Anyways, and so I think they work well on the... I think they work best on the Minos. But the problem with the Minos is that it doesn't have any, like, extra defense mitigation like the Nodens and the Kid do, right?
Yeah.
I'm used to running level 25 retaliators with 66% mitigation with 75% mitigation with 33% more mitigation from the Nodens core, giving me basically 100%. It's either 100% or it's like 99.9% mitigation. I don't know exactly how they do the math, but it's like almost perfect mitigation. And those things shred through Titans like it's nobody's business. And especially because I'm running a cannibal reactor. So going down to level 10 and only having, what is that, like, I think that's, that's 60% or 61% mitigation. Feels a lot worse. It feels way worse.
Yeah. I see what you're saying there, but I've been having really good luck with those things on the Minos, and they've really just been beating the crap out of everything. It's pretty insane. But let's say hello to a few of our viewers. I see we got Omniverse here. We got Lone Spanker. I see K, War Machine, BOD's here. Amphibious. Earth. Who else is here? Sir Hawk. We got Thomas Quebec. Thomas Quebec here. It's so nice to see all of you guys showing up to the stream. Some people are saying YouTube is having issues again, which I really hope is not the case, because it messed us up last week. Thomas, I think most of the people here are War Robots players. You're not going to see too many CSR2 players on this channel. I do have another channel for that game. Tat Demon, hello, hello.
Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Boss.
Hopefully you guys are having a good evening or whatever time it is where you are.
But yeah, it's good to see you guys here. It's good to see you guys here. But
it's always nice to have the chat with us.
Okay, so back to the crazy new Titan Minos and the shotguns. You definitely got to learn to play that Titan very differently. It's kind of like a regular robot. You gotta wait till its ability is ready, pop up, blast somebody with the shotguns, and then try to get back to cover. What I found seems to
Yeah.
work really good is to use one ability charge to rush in and use the other one to get back out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it definitely because you can't reach 100% mitigation on the Minos, uh, which all the other Titans have at least some other damage that goes up to 100% mitigation. Like Minos is definitely not designed to go one-on-one with other Titans. Now, I think the shotguns help with that if you can get close, because they do provide an advantage when you can create that right situation. But it just doesn't seem like set up. You know, it's great for moving in quickly and supporting other Titans in like a fight with multiple Titans. And it's great. It's better than a lot of the other Titans for taking out bots. And the shotguns are great for that as long as you aim well. When I first went to use the shotguns, I was missing a lot of my shots because I was just like holding down the fire button and trying to point at my target. But once I started like against the smaller targets, just firing single shots when I knew I had my aim right, it definitely did better. But it still didn't compare. Didn't compare to the retaliators.
Yeah, I'm finding
that's me. That's all me though.
I'm finding the exact opposite, actually. I find these things to be working super, super well for me. And I've just been beating up other Titans and everything else that gets in my way. Now, the thing does kind of... Alright, the thing does kind of have some durability issues. He does die kind of easily, but... I don't know, I think I figured out how I need to play it. I would say 75% of the time when I run in, I have really, really good luck, and then every once in a while I do not. So
I'll have to watch some of your videos and see how you end up using it, because you'll definitely be featuring it. Sounds like so much.
Yeah. Probably the next video I make is going to be about the Minos with the new squalls. But
I'll have to see what you're doing with it, because when I'm going in with it and I'm just taking tiny slivers, because I'm either missing or I'm just like going against these tougher targets that the shotguns at level 10. Like I imagine at level 25 they probably do a lot better, but I think even then I would still miss the mitigation.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I don't know, they just do so much damage. I like the things a lot. You know, there's another thing I also want to talk about tonight, which is something I've been planning on making a video for. And beacon games, alright? People need to learn to get the beacons. I don't think we talked about that last time, did we?
No, we haven't taken that up as a specific topic, but I mean, it seems to come up often enough in the community. There's always someone posting like just a picture of a beacon, and it's just like, learn to take this. This is the thing, and I think it's a bigger problem in the lower leagues. I don't know. It's not something I've worried about quite so much since being in champion, but it's definitely a factor. I mean, in a close game, it isn't always like. I think the closer games tend, at least in Champion League, some deeper tactical or strategic reality than simply whether or not people got the beacons. But that's just my personal experience.
I hear what you're saying. I just end up in a lot of games where my team will be camping in the back corner somewhere, and the enemy has all but one beacons, and it's like the enemies, there'll be like open beacons where a couple of people just need to run over there and grab them. No enemies are even near, but people just aren't going over there. So I just think people really need to start playing differently on some of these matches.
I like sometimes I pop in on I'll play a few games on one of my alternate accounts, like that's like in like expert or something like that. Actually, I haven't played any of them since the ratings shift, so I actually don't know where they ended up, because I'm not familiar with the numbers to just remember, oh, this one was at this number, so now it's at this number. But anyways, I definitely see that. Like I 100% see that in the lower leagues when I pop in there. It's just like you see like Natasha is coming in and they're just like gonna like stand like just or whatever spot they think is best to shoot from, and they're just not gonna go for anything. And definitely definitely happens, but
Yeah.
I haven't been seeing too much of it in my games. That's for sure. But to be fair, I'm too busy looking at the reds. Maybe it's happening and I'm not seeing it.
Hey, Midnight Rambler. Thanks for stopping by the stream. Thomas, my other channel, all right? That unfortunately Max cannot make it on Saturday, so we got to do it on Friday this week. But yeah, I think the connection problem is now working correctly. I'm getting good feedback from YouTube now. So if the stream was looking bad, we apologize. It should be a lot better now. Hey, Striker. All right, the contest for the thing on my channel, the giveaway ended today. Probably tomorrow sometime I'll post a list of the winners. Nitro, hey, what's going on?
Hey there, Nitro. So I know someone was saying something about the shotguns earlier. I think it was saying something about the alpha one doing twice as much damage, and that's. I actually haven't taken a close look at the numbers. Normally, I'll go to the wiki for that. I don't even know if they're up on the wiki yet, but that's actually a big difference. A lot of the alpha weapons don't do that much more damage than the beta weapons. So, if that's the case, that a serious contender. Especially given that what's the alpha machine gun? It's called Vengeance.
Yeah, I do believe so.
Yeah, Vengeance. So the Vengeance is a lot more accurate and a lot less pure damage than the Retaliator. So I think like Retaliator and I should actually remember the name of that shotgun. What is it called again?
The Grom?
Grom, that's it, right. So I think Retaliator, Grom, Arthur might be a really powerful combination.
I think I got some of those Groms on my Battle Rec account, but I haven't tried those out yet. I do want to try those on Arthur and see what those are all about, because that might be pretty insane.
Yeah, no, there's definitely some potential there.
Darklight says the Grom is super powerful. I believe it, because the little ones I find to be crazy powerful. Uh-oh, I guess we're lagging again, unfortunately. People say we're freezing. This?
Really?
Man, yeah.
I don't see anyone saying that.
Yeah, someone just asked why we froze. And we're too excellent. Lovely.
Vengeance Squalls. Yeah, I feel like that's Vengeance Squall, the really kind of dissonant build on the kind of the optimal ranges, because Vengeance does fine at around 400 meters, and the Squalls you really need to get like within 100.
That is true.
For them to really work.
All right, we got a question here. What's the most annoying thing in War Robots right now? And my thing would be the Hawk. They're driving me crazy because as soon as one lands, the next one comes up, and it's like I got 2 or 3 of them shooting me with lasers all at the same time and blowing me into little pieces, and I don't like it.
My answer is similar, but not the same. But only when I try to suppress them and it doesn't work. So basically, Kyle Hawk. That's what bothers me the most. Is just like, oh, I can't lock it down. I can't suppress it. It's just gonna come at me. Like I feel like lockdown and suppression provide a good relief valve for regular Hawks that don't. Even with anti-control, you have some options because you can only work every other time or something like that, unless they stack them up. In which case, they're committing a lot of resources to that, using 2 or even 3 module slots. But with Kyle, it's just like every time they're in the air, can't suppress them, can't lock them down, and it's just too much. There's just no counter.
Yeah.
I mean, not no counter. Like you can still absorb it. There's some ways of absorbing that damage and having some sort of recourse. But just when they're like double phase shifting and have healing chips and stuff on top of that, you usually can't even kill them the first time they land, even if you get to them. I'm talking about relatively maxed out ones. I think like lower level Hawks are not that hard to deal with. but
That's true.
When it's decked out, it is just a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Magic Turtle, he just got back to the game and doesn't have any new robots. Well, it's kind of hard to tell you what exactly to do according to what you have now. Like, it would be nice to know your hanger, so unfortunately...
Yeah, I mean, I generally recommend, if you're let's assume you're just starting out, I would recommend getting like a Leo, a Natasha, and a Gareth. So if you're already a little bit beyond that, maybe you have some like Terrans or maybe some of the older component bots, then you have some options that are going to work a little bit better for you. Generally, I'd recommend, one of the first things I recommend people build in the workshop is something like a Leech, because Leech is still relevant even in Champion League, and it works really well with Punishers. So I think Punisher Leech is like one of the first things that people should build in terms of like something that's a little bit more powerful than those basic stuff that you can start with.
Yeah, Leech is definitely a great robot for just about anybody. Nightingale is something I also think is doing excellent right now.
Nightingale is in the workshop and is incredibly powerful, but 4 to 5 champions agree it's gonna get nerfed. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend building a Nightingale right now, because by the time you've got it leveled, it might get hit by something. Now maybe Pixonic will be more moderate with the nerf. I know my preference for how to nerf the Nightingale would be simply to make it fly higher. That's all I think it needs. Though honestly, it could still be pretty annoying. But if it flew a little bit higher, then I think that would actually substantially mitigate one of the biggest problem with it.
The main thing I was thinking is they're just going to nerf it to where it can't capture beacons anymore. And I kind of have a feeling they're not going to do too much to it besides that, but I could be wrong.
I hope you're right, and that's the idea behind the making it fly higher. Because I think just having a bot be stealth, not being able to capture beacons, is a kind of a weird thing to do. But if they just make it fly higher, it could still capture beacons if it was able to take off from a low ground, which means it would almost never be able to do 2 ability cycles on the same beacon, because it would have to walk away from the beacon before it could take off and then fly back into the beacon circle. If it took off from within the beacon circle, it would end up too high to be able to capture the beacon.
Another robot which is really good right now is Scorpion, when you can get one. It's hard to say Hades, though. All right, Hades is something I think everybody should have, because it's such a nice, well-rounded robot. It's got a very powerful ability. I think it's cheaper to build than some robots in the workshop, and it's just so nice and well-rounded. Does great. One of my favorite bots in the game, actually.
Yeah, Hades I think is a good choice. I mean, Absorber Shield is actually one of the things that actually kind of does okay against the Hawk. Obviously, if we see a lot of people shifting to that, then we're going to see Hawks with probably with Shield Breaker, but the Hades is good. It just got buffed, so the chances of it getting nerfed in a month or two when they do another rebalance is actually pretty low. So I think Hades is actually a really good bet. And Ares is just fine as well. It does get pretty slow when its ability is up, but it's hard to argue with the firepower that Ares has.
I don't do anywhere near as good with Ares as I do with the Hades. Like, that low hit points he has. That's the one thing, is he has a glass cannon. Crazy hard hitting ability, but he dies pretty easy.
I've seen a lot of people doing well with the Hades. I think I'd rather go for the Hades right now. I'm actually considering leveling my Imperial Hades, but I have so many special edition bots that I'm trying to decide between that I don't know if it's gonna take that spot. But the particular advantage that the Ares has is that the shield is longer. So if you're looking to like time it to just prevent a Hawk from shooting you or something like that, then the Ares has that advantage. Of course, with the Hades, you can just put the shield up and then go to cover. And then by the time it drops down, you're just not in line of sight of the Hawk. But
yeah, that's a very good point there.
And the Hades is, I mean, of the bots that we've mentioned, is probably the easiest to equip. I mean, maybe the Nightingale, but it only has 3 weapons, unlike the 4 that the Leech and the Ares have. And I think it's kind of nice that it has 1 heavy weapon, because that allows you to use it as a test bed for new heavy weapons. Because one thing, like, if you're going to try to get a new weapon and you only get like 1 of it, and then you have to like wait or build the other one. So if you're running a bot that has like 2 heavy slots, then you don't get a good opportunity to get a good feel for that heavy weapon until you've already invested so much in getting a pair of them leveled.
Yeah.
Whereas with a bot like the Hades, you only need to get the 1 and get a good feel for that weapon. And then maybe, if it's a weapon you really like, you can get a second one and run it on like a Bulwark or on a Hawk.
Now, Kay says he thinks the Hades is a very skill-based robot. I don't know. I think he's extremely easy to play for me.
I don't like the idea that some bots. I mean, a lot of people lean really heavily on the idea that some bots are more skilled than others. I think there's some truth to that. Take an example for a robot like Strider. There's no doubt that to pilot a Strider successfully, you're going to need to apply a lot more skill than you are for a lot of the other bots. But besides exceptions like that, where it's like a very obviously high skill cap bot, I think that things are relatively close. And like obviously you have something like Hawk where you're going to be able to do certain things with very little skill, but if you also apply skill to it, it still makes as much of a difference as it would for another bot. It's just your starting point is already higher. So you can get something done without skill, but the skill still helps. It helps a lot. Like,
yeah.
I mean, this is something I pay attention to. Like, if I'm going up against a Hawk, I can tell the difference between a Hawk being piloted by somebody who, is only doing, is only so experienced versus like a name that I recognize and like that's a player to look out for, and they're in a Hawk, like, and it's maxed out. It's just like that thing's going to be on the battlefield for a long time, and it's going to be a real pain.
Definitely.
In a lot of cases.
I notice my little talk box is constantly staying lit up for some reason. That's really strange. All right, so somebody asked if the Retaliators and the Nodens are getting nerfed. I actually haven't heard anything about this yet. I'm kind of hoping not, but with this game, you never actually know when something's going to get nerfed or not. Usually if something does get nerfed, we get to try it out and stuff like that, but as of right now, I'm guessing that's probably a rumor. But I've heard nothing from Pixonic personally about that happening yet.
Of course, the test server is only usually a few weeks' notice. We did just see the Nodens get buffed in October, so I think a Nodens nerf in the near future is very unlikely. But honestly,